Father refuses to walk me down the aisle because it is reserved for his precious daughter, so now I am giving him away to his new family because I am done with him. I did not grow up knowing my dad very well as he and my mom divorced when I was an infant. He remarried and had several kids with his new wife, who hates my very existence. There were a lot of hurtful things done when I was growing up, like not being allowed in her house when I visited, which led me to be estranged from my father. He never really made much of an effort, so when I was 18 I completely cut him off for my mental health and stopped answering the few calls he attempted. He tried to get into contact every once in a while over the years, but I honestly just ignored him. I was hurt and angry. About a year ago I got back into contact with some extended family on his side and have been forging a good bond with all of them. I invited them all to our wedding and they have been amazing. Eventually, I started speaking with my dad as well, and it was tense at first, but I decided to give him a chance. We have slowly been getting a semblance of a relationship back, and I saw him in person with my fiancé a few months ago. His wife is not pleased with this. Their kids are upset about it. After much thought, I asked my dad if he wanted to walk me down the aisle, as I had been hopeful for a better relationship, but he turned me down. I wouldn't be as upset if he gave a generic excuse, but he told me his wife and daughter requested he not walk me down the aisle as that is reserved for his other daughter and not me. I am super hurt and unsure what to reply to that with. He offered to stand at the front and give me away instead, but that wasn't what I wanted. My fiancé thinks we should uninvite him and move on, but I'm unsure if that is the best action. He is coming from out of state with the rest of his family, so he has already bought a plane ticket and hotel room. Part of me thinks to politely turn him down, have him as a regular guest, and stop talking to him again after the wedding. My mom isn't coming to my wedding because she lives far away and has panic attacks, so I don't have any other immediate family coming. In the end, I did not invite my dad to my wedding. The whole interaction was too hurtful to let go. Before telling him I was uninviting him, I spoke with his sister, Sandy, who was furious at her brother for what he said to me. Sandy called him and yelled at him for being an ass. After that I sent my dad an email detailing how hurtful he had been and that he was uninvited. He replied to my email with a bunch of nonsense deflection about how he has to make sure both sides are happy, but told Sandy, not me, he was sorry and that it was a miscommunication. He claims to Sandy that he was only trying to negotiate with me and would have walked me down the aisle if that was what I wanted. I highly doubt that. I replied to him that I stood firm in my decision to uninvite and to not contact me again until after the wedding, but that if he did contact me at all it better be with the understanding that he needs to be present in my life the same way he is to his other kids, otherwise not to reach out again. I didn't hear anything from my dad during the wedding, but Sandy and her family still came. We all had a blast and everyone was so happy for us. I knew that not inviting my dad was the best decision we made. I talked to Sandy about my dad over the holidays and she said that he and his wife and kids were refusing to go to any family dinners or parties because they are upset that everyone else talks to me. I have been in regular contact with Sandy, my uncle Jerry, and all of their kids, which makes my stepmom feel betrayed. Sandy is pissed at her because they used to be friends but never understood what her issue was with me. I didn't hear from my dad all through December, but in late January, I got a random email from him. He sent a long email blaming me for him not being in my life, telling me his wife and kids are more important, but we need to still be in each other's lives. It was the most BS email he had sent me so far and completely disregarded my wishes back in October when I told him not to contact me unless he was going to treat me like his actual child. I ended up not responding and just blocking his email. I also told Sandy not to share any pictures or videos from the wedding with him and not to talk about me with him. I think this will be the end of the relationship with him since he is incapable of being a parent to me. I feel more at peace with everything that happened and I am completely okay with how it all turned out.